Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Mosk Pod. This is a very emotional episode. Last episode ever of the Mosk Pod. It's been a wonderful 2 seasons, 2 years, I would say. This is our 32nd episode overall and our final one on the Gales Radio uh, sort of YouTube channel. So this will be a very emotional again episode, but very informative as well, as we have two very special guests, as you see in the background. We'll get to them in one sec, and I'll introduce them. We'll get into the whole Give Grant program and what it's all about, experiences all throughout the year, what we've been doing. So I hope you guys enjoy that and enjoy my final episode ever of this podcast. So before we get into anything, I just want to introduce our two guests. We got Maggie in the background, and we got Leonora as well, the founder of Give. And it's been crazy few years, but it's been pretty packed years, I would say. Um, if we can, or if I can ask you first, Maggie, um, can you explain sort of who you are and what you're involved in around campus?
Yeah, sure. My name is Maggie. I'm a junior here on campus, and a couple things I'm involved in is the Iona University pipe band. I play the bagpipes, and the Iona University pep band. I play the flute. I also play the flute for the Iona instrumental ensemble, but I'm also the current vice president of leadership for the Council of Academic and Special Interest Groups. Next year, I will be the vice president of all academic clubs. A couple other things is just I'm a peer educator for Give. Probably the most important part of this podcast is that I'm one of the student advisory team kind of leaders here at Iona. So I work underneath Lenora several times a week and a couple times a month.
And what has your experience been with Give overall?
Definitely a positive and empowering one. I joined Give, I would like to say beginning of my sophomore year, but I was drawn to Give at the end of my freshman year during Sexual Assault Awareness Month. There was the informational table the afternoon before the What Were You Wearing exhibit, and I saw Lenora, and I actually wanted a water bottle because I'm obsessed with water bottles, a little obsession of mine, but I wanted one. And I came back in August for student leadership training, and Lenora said, "Welcome to the team, and here's your water bottle."
Yeah, fun fact: me and Maggie were two OLs of the last year OL program, so it was an amazing summer. Welcoming in these students. Was it the largest class?
It is one of the largest class. I
Well,
don't know about what our current class number size is going to be. We will find that out in a couple of days.
all right, that's cool. School's definitely growing though. Um, that's great. Leonora, can we get into you now?
Sure.
Just explain a little about who you are. I can also explain a little of sort of how we met.
Okay, if you want to start off with that.
Sure. So me and Leonora actually met. I've explained this on the podcast a few times. Leonora, I've had Vincenzo on here quite a bit. He definitely started out the episode. I wanted to get him back on. He unfortunately works during this time, so couldn't get him on. But uh, as we explained a little on those episodes, me and Leonora met in Texas, not at through Iona mission trip program. We went down to Brownsville in Texas and experienced uh, daily life there, but also like sort of community service wise, um, what they're going through each day. And Leonardo, do you want to explain a little more about that?
Sure. That program really focused in on immigration and working with migrants coming through the border down in the Texas area in Brownsville and throughout the border down there. So Ethan and I met down there, and I shared what I do and what work I'm involved in, and he just started to join our student advisory team meetings on Tuesdays.
Yeah, it happened. It happened right away too.
Yes, it did. You came right on board.
It was next month during what do you call it, the Valentine's Day event.
Yep.
Dating
violence.
dating violence awareness month. We met during Valentine's Day in the dining hall across the street. So no, it's been amazing being part of GIVE. But Leonard, can you explain just a little about
Sure.
who else or what else you do? Sorry.
Well, to start off, just to give people a perspective, Iona submitted a proposal to the Office on Violence Against Women in the Department of Justice for a grant that Iona received back in 2020. It was a $300,000 grant, and that grant was to focus in on issues related to dating, domestic violence, sexual assault, and stalking. And at my prior institution, I had written a grant for them as well, so I was familiar. I've been a Title IX coordinator, so I've been familiar with the issues that are related to this particular grant. Once the grant was received, there was a process of hiring someone. I know the Dean of Students here, Joel Quinton, very well, and he knows my experience. So it was a great opportunity to become involved at a new institution and also utilizing my skills and backgrounds in that area. The GIVE grant program, which GIVE stands for Gale Interpersonal Violence Education, was an opportunity for a program to start to develop here at Iona to emphasize to our students and to our faculty and staff and administration that we have resources, we have people who can help students who unfortunately do encounter these situations and how and which way we can support them. The initial events were to get the message out there, to get people aware. I have found Iona to be one of the most engaging universities I have worked at. The students are interested, the students are involved, the students want to know about these issues and want to know that there's someone there to support them and give them resources. The awareness piece is all about the tabling and all about the programs that we're able to do. And as Ethan started to allude to, we program 4 times a year. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. January is Stalking Awareness Month. February is Dating Violence, Healthy, Unhealthy Relationships. And April, which is the culminating month of the year, is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. However, we do program throughout the year as well. We try to do as much training and intervention and awareness that we can throughout the other months of the year, because it's just as important, not just during these months, but also throughout the school year. What else? What else would you like me to share?
No, a big reason why I had this episode is not only because it's the last one, but it is still Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Some things we do, we have Denim Day, where we wear jeans to support survivors, stuff like that. What else was there? I know I bring this shirt definitely on purpose for this. So we definitely wear this in April every year. Got that shirt last year.
Yep. The teal ribbon also represents sexual assault. Each of the months that we have, there's a ribbon that represents it. January is yellow, February is red, April is teal, and in October it's purple. So we have a color to really get out there to promote the event. A lot of students come to the table, want to wear that ribbon or want to get buttons or want to get something to walk away with. And that's our goal, is for them to be more aware of what resources they have, but also we take these issues seriously. And as an institution, we want to assure students that if you encounter it, where can you go? Who can you talk to? What resources are available? And we also have a brand new Title IX coordinator, Jennifer Lincolns, which I think has been a huge asset to our program and will continue to be throughout the next, however many years. But it will certainly bring these issues to the forefront, but also for students to know there's support on campus.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, like Leonor just said, info tables happen for all the awareness months, weekly tables, even daily, like every day, some weeks. But yes, make sure to catch us out there over the few years coming up as well. Leonor, do you have status on the grant?
Well, right now, where we stand, we are in the last sort of month or two of the grant itself, which at this point will probably sort of finish up around the end of July. And the submission of a new grant for the 24-25 2024 to 2027 will be submitted by May 15th, and the institution will, Iona will be notified if we've received it in September of 2024. So during this time frame and ending out the semester, we're looking to finish up some things that are part of the current grant. I am in the process of hoping to solicit a Google Doc and get some feedback from students that have been involved in GIVE, but also some of the clubs and organizations that have been collaborative and wanting to be a part of GIVE, and getting feedback saying, what else do you want to see us do? What else should we be addressing? How much way can we continue to advocate these issues and these messages for students, and getting more students involved? Eventually, through the grant, the next grant, I would love to see the student advisory team become a club on campus, that we can really bring more students involved, really partake in student government activities or funding, and in the end, have it be a club that can be recognized for the tremendous work that the 7 student leaders that I've had involved, which has been Maggie, which has been Ethan, which has been Connor Murray, Olivia Torres, Caitlin Garcia, Jack Saldano.
You can name the past too.
And who else? Who am I?
Like Alyssa.
Yes, Alyssa Lewinkowski. And, really, it's been a true... and Lane McDonald. And Lane McDonald. I can't forget Lane.
Nope.
But this crew has been tremendous in the amount of support they've given me, but given their students. I put it back on them, because they're the ones that are advocating for their peers and wanting students to learn about and know about. And their engaging other students has been a huge gratifying piece for me as an administrator in higher education, and the work that I've done over the years. So it's a great institution. There's a lot of potential here, and the students here are truly, truly amazing.
Yeah, and Leonora, we definitely want to thank you for your hard work over the years.
Yes.
We've really appreciated working under you, and just being a part of this grant.
Thank you.
We also are looking always to welcome in new people. So definitely get involved with GIVE, get involved around campus in general. It is an amazing campus. Get yourself involved. I've said that over the years. That's a big part of the college experience. Yes, we're always open here at GIVE. With the amazing student advisory team and amazing leader in Leonora. Some events, I'll name a few events we've hosted. I would say definitely our most successful was the Smash Out event. That was for domestic violence, right?
Yep.
That was in October. We smashed a car. A real car. Yeah. Anyone want to explain a little about that?
Sure. I can explain a little bit about that. So October signified Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and one of the ideas we kind of came up with, along with our wonderful, amazing Iona University dance team, they helped us out. Dance team, right? Dance team helped us out.
They've been involved with us most of the year, so we want to thank them as well.
Christy and Kelly, being their respective directors and head coach, helped out with that. And the idea about it was it was a fundraiser. You could pay either like $1 or $2 to either, write a message, or I think it was like $1 for 3 hits. And it was for lack of a better word, it was a really big hit. Everybody came from, Greek life to student government, regular students, commuter students, storming students. And it was really nice to see how Iona came together for a cause that was so good. But when we had it was at a very crucial time of Iona too. It was right around midterms for the fall semester. So not only did I hear from students that it was for a good cause, a lot of them who told me that they wrote stuff they had never said to anybody out loud, but also it was a way for them to relieve like their kind of stress, because they were feeling the stress and the overwhelming sense from midterm. So a lot of students were like, when is that going to happen again? Like, I really want to see another thing. And we had something similar, not in the way that we smashed a car, but writing messages for survivors, showing that Iona supports survivors during Sexual Assault Awareness Month, called Cover the Cruiser, where a campus safety vehicle, the side and part of the front of it had notes attached to it of messages that students wrote for survivors. So that was a really big impact. And again, that was really a lot of outpour was thrown from SGA and CGG. All of them came out to support us, and it was a really great event.
And that was during Walk a Mile as well, right?
Yep,
That was the same day as Walk a Mile.
That happened on Friday, this past Friday.
Friday.
There was a good turnout. That's been the third annual event sponsored by CGG, and it's growing each and every year. And I think that's something, sending a message about what we should do. I know, Ethan, you asked about, what else we'd like to do. I'd love to see some more engagement from creating a men's group on campus in terms of men supporting survivors and men supporting, how to combat these issues. And that's one of the things I'm putting into this new grant, is a way to say we want to help facilitate that conversation and move that forward. But as you mentioned, each of our months have a message behind it. There's a theme. There's a way to bring students together. The dance team was very instrumental. They raised $475, and the acrobatic and tumbling team had an event for their first meet that they had, where they were advocating and sort of kicking off Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And they raised $275. So I had $750 that we, I feel, is worthy to share with everyone, that they helped support. Westchester Medical has a sexual assault abuse empowerment program, or victims empowerment program, that when a student or an individual has been involved in a unfortunate circumstance of sexual assault, stalking, dating, domestic violence, and they go to the hospital for a forensic exam, which is a rape kit, to hold that evidence and to have that evidence to determine what they want to do with it eventually. But we were able to support preparing and supplying victims over 650 bags of toiletries, things that when a victim does come into the hospital, they necessarily may not have all these things, or they've left where they were living or the situation they were in, and they need these necessities to keep them going, at least initially, and support from the Westchester Medical program. So both teams raised that money. We were able to purchase, many of them don't come in with shoes, so we bought Crocs for both adults and children. We also purchased the bags that all of the toiletries that were placed and supported these victims, as well as some hair pieces that oftentimes are needed for some of the victims. So really, it's not just so much a program where you're on campus and you're doing something. Here we did something off campus with a community agency and community support. Our students, there were close to 60 students that were involved in helping support that. And that's another realm of our capabilities of extending out into the community and supporting, organizations, but potentially some of our students could utilize at some point. And the services and the reciprocity there and collaboration was really, really positive. So,
can I add something?
Yeah.
So definitely another community partner, while you were kind of bringing up acro and tumbling, which I forgot to mention. I'm so sorry, acro and tumbling.
No, that's right.
Y'all are amazing.
No.
Shout out. But one of Res Life has also been a really great collaborator as well during Iona in October has Coming Out Week, and it's a big celebration here on campus because obviously we're not here. Not all of us are here during the month of June. We do have orientation during that time, but not all of our students are on campus. So we really go big for Coming Out Week. And one of the things that I kind of wanted to highlight this semester with Lenora was the LGBTQ statistics for domestic violence, stalking, sexual assault awareness, dating violence, because sometimes it's not always said, or certain members of the community are kind of shadowed. Mostly when we talk about gay statistics, we think of just male on male attacks, but there is women on women, and even transgender individuals have really the most sometimes severe cases of interpersonal violence. So that Res Life really helped with that during Coming Out Week. And then also shout out to RA Megan Nolan, who helped host one of the Gale Gates and wanting to help kind of also kickstart sexual assault awareness with her idea of the disposable caps for roof, like if you get root feed, to prevent roofie and date rape. So
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, we've had a lot happen this year. I also wanted to try an event. We did a candlelight vigil, right?
Yes,
In
we've done
October.
Yep. Yes, well, it was. It's been. Yep, it was during October. Yep, and we had a speaker come. Westchester Medical was able to provide a survivor who came and talked about her experience, and she was very powerful because she really talked about. She was an older woman, but she talked about her experience that happened to her during her college years, which has framed what she does and how she goes about things at this point in her life now. And it was very, very meaningful to hear that. And I think, those are the type of events we want more students to attend, to really get a sense of hearing from others. And, one of the things that this group has done, which we haven't mentioned, is in stalking awareness, we've created a stalking video. And the hope is to create a second one in the duration of our grant, but that may move into the next one. But that stalking video really has all of the 7, including Alyssa, and we want to advocate and use that as part of a training tool. So the goal ultimately is to create, a series of really tailored programs that any club or organization could come to me and say, hey, Lenora, can you do this? Or could we have this? Or what topic can we talk about? And that we've got, a library of programs, activities, events. And, I think clubs and organizations see what we do and they come up to me and say, hey, how can I get involved with GIVE? Would love to have you. I want to extend it that all of the months that we program, there is opportunity to do something that's related to your club or your organization, or even just collaborate on a topic that we want to talk about in some way. The grant itself does have LGBTQIA as well as neurodiverse components that we want to expand upon, because that's one of the topics. And with the new grant, we are to continue doing that. So I have to build on that more with this new grant that we're writing. And ultimately, I think, I'm open to ideas that students have. I've created a Google Doc that's going to be sent out to as many of the students that I know have been involved in our events throughout the past 2.5 years, asking for, what did you see? What did you not see? What would you like to see? How and which way can we expand our education regarding prevention, awareness, and really student involvement in changing a campus culture, but also, putting together a program that people feel good about, that for me, that the students feel there's someone here that cares about these issues, and the institution clearly does.
Right. And just for future references, definitely catch us on Instagram, because we post a lot there, stories, everything, about everything we do. Also, I mean, email list is also a way always to do it. Our team meets every Tuesday now from 3:30 to like 5-ish. So
we'll be meeting tomorrow.
Yes, we are meeting tomorrow.
Yeah.
Leonora, it's our last one.
Probably, because you're done with classes on Friday, and the following week is your finals.
Finals.
So, yep.
The dreaded finals.
I have the questionnaire to go out to you guys, and hopefully we'll be able to discuss some of it at our meeting tomorrow.
For sure. And we actually have an event, a collab tomorrow.
Yes, we do, with Neurodiverse Group there.
That's right.
We're going to be talking about issues related to, sexual assault, sexual violence in general with the neurodiverse community. And it's going to be sort of an info table outside, and come by and get some resources and information. And we'll probably end the month with that event.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been that kind of month. April, sexual assault awareness. Yeah, so definitely catch us tomorrow. Any other events we're planning for coming up?
At this point, probably not,
Okay.
based on the fact classes end on Friday.
Right.
I may be working from now until, the end of the grant itself for me, and pulling together, events, hopefully, that can happen in the fall. And at the same time, working with the new Title IX coordinator. She's going to come on board with helping supplement some of the grant as well to see what we can do. She's been here for a good, semester and a half. That allows us to sort of really say, what can we do? What are some other areas and avenues of really educating our community? So I've been, ecstatic about the work that's been done. The students have been really the catalyst for it. Yes, I'm there to help support, but you guys are the ones that get the word out. Students come to our tables. Students want to see what's happening. And from my perspective, that's what we want to continue to do, that students are engaged, students want to have a role in making an impact. And I say to students all the time that when you do your resume and you start to look for a job, when you can write on there that you were an active member of an organization that was granted and the grant for next year is $400,000, that you were part of implementing a $400,000 grant that focused on these issues, that's a huge, huge employer they want to know about. They want to know what you did, what were you involved, how did you do that, what things. And you can talk about your group meetings, you can talk about a number of different things that really give them a sense that you were collaborative, that you were involved, that you took an initiative, and that effort will show how your determination and drive and a number of different things. So, I say to students, get involved. It's the best way, not just in my Give program, but also with the campus. This campus has a lot to offer, and students really can walk away with a great experience. And I have 2 students here in this room that clearly have done that. And Ethan, you've been just a wonderful support in so many ways. And in the short period of time, it's been less than 2 years, but you have done so much. And it clearly has, I think, helped you really recognize the value of that, but also the opportunities that are there. And Maggie, certainly you have another year, and it's certainly something to really talk about. So
I thank you, Leonora.
Of course,
so much.
Been a key catalyst to a lot of our programs. And as I said, the 7 of you, and including Alyssa from the first year, really have made this program be what it is. And I think people know about Give, and let's keep that going, hopefully with another grant, but also with an effort to maintain the effect of the program and students being aware of what these issues really mean. So
I definitely love being a part of the Give grant. The Give grant is it's so different from the other kind of not just student leadership roles that I have on campus, but just roles in organizations that I have in general. I hold a lot of student leadership positions, so a lot of people kind of look towards me for certain things. I feel like in Give, I like that it's we kind of do a round table thing. There's no hierarchy, there's no president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, so there's no unbalance of power. We're all on the same kind of field, and we all just kind of pitch ideas oh, I think this sounds I think this sounds really cool, or oh, I think this is really amazing. And that's just kind of how our info tables get started. I was literally sitting in Lenora's office, and we were looking at it, and we were looking at a bunch of different events, and that's how we came up with taco bout consent. We looked at what other people had done, and we pitched it to other things. And even events that we've hosted on campus, the final product is definitely not where the beginning idea was. It was through refining of people being and it's a place in where you can say that idea doesn't sound like it'll go the best. Why don't we try it a different way? And then it ends up being an event that's 10 times greater and has a lot more empowerment to people than we ever thought in the beginning. So I definitely like moving our info tables from the Spelman portico to the Murphy Green so people can see us more, and having the What Were You Wearing exhibit. Thank gosh the weather was good. We had it on the Murphy Green so people could actually see it on their way by. They're what is this? And that's the big question that we always get, what is this? What are you doing out here? Or the people who have already seen this of oh, this is awesome. I saw you guys here last week, or I saw you here yesterday. And it's just great when people start to, put all the pieces together. And then even professors coming by being can you give a talk in my class? And it's not just Lenora asking, but one of my professors even asked me to talk to my personal class or another class that she had, saying I want you to talk about what it is that you're involved in this program. And that's just what the GIVE program is. It's about interconnectedness, to bringing awareness to things that just need to be brought to the surface. You know, everybody's like, oh, it sounds cliche. It may sound cliche, but the more you say it and the more that people hear it, the more that the advocacy is going to get through, and then the prevention will come along with it, you know?
That's right. I hope that in the next grant too, that I have, more connection with faculty, and in that capacity, where I've now have a sense of the campus. I've gotten referrals from students about professors that clearly would make, the opportunity for me to come to class, or for us to do a program together, or even asking a class to come to a program so that they get credit and extra credit, or some type of, awareness, because it really is an opportunity to learn something. And we have many classes here that these issues kind of intertwine with in some way, shape, or form, and can be a really sort of collective academic, student affairs, or collaborative, in terms of educating students from the field that they might go into. How and which way, would you address some of these issues? Everyone eventually graduates from here and they go into the workforce. So they're going to be aware of, different issues that could happen in the work environment. So really being prepared to how to handle them, what knowledge you have, how to combat them from happening, or what resources you have at your new employment to help support you if you encounter these situations. So it's really a very conscious effort to allow for prevention and education and awareness. If those are the three words we can really put out there, that, you, Ethan, and Maggie, and the whole crew has really tried to put out there. And from my perspective, that's been the message, is to allow students to understand it, to be aware of it, to take a role in preventing it, but also becoming educated about which way, how, in which way, and what can be done to minimize some of these concerns. So,
yeah, and Leonore, you remember coming into Gale Chat really early on?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
So I was a mentor in that course as well. 2 years ago.
Yep.
It's a class for neurodiversity people, but anyone who wants to join, just it helps to like conversation build and all that. But no, spreading the word, again, very key. Like Maggie said, also presenting to her, our professors, reaching out, presenting to classes, totally spreads the word and helps us a lot out. Do you guys want to mention any more events, if you could think, any like yearly stuff we do?
I think every single month there's a week that we put a theme to. So there's a topic, and also nationally, these events happen. So national organizations will send down a theme. So we try to incorporate that theme within the months that we celebrate. We have done, lots of tabling, but also vigil. We've done the "What Are You Wearing?" The events that we have a number of movies that have been developed that talk about some of these topics. So that's something I'm hoping that we can incorporate into the next grant, is a movie series about some of these, where one movie every month during the months talks about the topic, and it allows for a conversation, it allows for dialogue, it allows for, students to kind of come together to talk about what did that movie, and how, which way, if any part of that movie you've seen, or you know of, or you're aware of, or you're a part of, and affects you in your relationships. I think the other piece that, with the student advisory team, my goal in the next grant is also to really provide a peer certification program, so that the students that get involved really have the certification underneath them. And that's another thing on your resume that you've actually participated in. So that is a huge piece of it, where there is I think students are more confident in doing a presentation. Students feel that they have the knowledge and the support and the background to do a presentation for whatever residence hall, for whatever class, whatever group of students, whatever club or organizations. And again, that's spreading the word, where our peers, I can do a program, but when it comes from a peer to a peer, it's going to have a much more powerful impact on them and effect on them, in terms of peers talking to peers. And there's a plethora of resources out there for that to happen. And, the peer educator piece, and having that formality of certification really adds another whole level of the program itself and the implementation of the program. So, our events have all been ones that we, I love to collaborate. Like I said, clubs and organizations, it's a way for them to meet some of the requirements that they have to do with CSE, with the Center for Student Engagement, but also RAs in terms of programming that they have. But clubs and organizations in general really helping their members learn about something outside the realm of what their club is focused in on. So, events can be anything and everything. We're part of a health fair. We can do so much that really allows for students to be active and involved. And the more that I know from students and the more that I have a sense of what is needed, the more we can implement. And I think the support is there from the president down, but also in the student affairs division, under Joel and all of our teams, and or at least the teams within student affairs of residential life, CSE, performing arts, club sports, counseling, health center, career services, all those areas all have a role in helping advocate for these issues as well. So,
I definitely think like another event that like I don't think is always kind of talked about, but I think it was that I think was really important was our collaboration with DU, the fraternity on campus, Delta Epsilon, when we were having our kind of like our major info table that we have on Valentine's Day. It's usually either on Valentine's Day or like the day before Valentine's Day, where it talks about certain things that or certain stigmas that are put onto couples of all types on Valentine's Day, fancy dinner, nice glass of wine, a fancy present, and then what some people feel is expected of them while in a relationship, or even like if they're just looking for a regular date on Valentine's Day. And we paired with DU because they sell teddy bears during Valentine's Day, and I think that was a really major event, and we got a lot of good feedback from that and attendance to that. Like our major question was like, what does love look like to you? And love looks differently to everybody. We had stuff saying from like food and music to like it shouldn't hurt to just like love is love and love is comfort and or love is a movie. It was different for everybody, but I think that's what was really great about that event, and I don't think it's like talked about so much as it should be, because it's one of like our like smaller
Definitely.
Well, every
events.
single one of our months we have a sort of a board that has a topic or a statement or something to say. We during Sexual Assault Awareness Month, we had the Tuesdays that we had a table. There was a theme at one was survivors, one was what is consent, what does consent mean to you. Denim Day, which is a huge event as well, that's nationally done. It's a national day, 25 years this year. And so really engaging people with that. And the boards I found to be very, very empowering, because students take the time to come over and take a Post-it note and put it up there. And they're, when you look at those boards afterwards, you see the commonality of some of the statements, but you also see the differences of what, as Maggie just said, what people really think. All of us have a different perception, but it all ties into we want people to have a healthy relationship, which then trickles down into being happy overall. So, our counseling center does a tremendous job in terms of supporting all of our students from whatever issue they bring in. And even these issues, I know that for a while they were the ones overseeing this, which the grant took over to be able to help support their efforts in that area. And, again, another piece of the new grant I would love to have is have a campus advocate here, someone that's on campus that's available to talk to. Not that the counseling center is not available, but have someone alternatively who has the training, background and skills and knowledge,
like specializes
in the trauma informed and works with students who've been involved in any of these situations. So that's a goal eventually, which I think students will find a positive piece and supportive to having someone alternatively to talk to about specific things that are going on if they've unfortunately had to encounter one of those situations. So
one last thing, because we have about 15 minutes left, but I did want to go through sort of Leonora, this is your part. So do you have an agenda for tomorrow's meeting just as a sample of what a typical meeting would look like every Tuesday?
Sure. We kind of set the, I set the agenda as to thank everyone because we're culminating the month. So I'll have a nice, thank you for all the support that the students have been involved in. We'll review what was still remaining in the grant that we potentially could get done, or at least what will need to be done prior to end of July. Secondly, we'll talk about, as I said, I've put together a Google Doc that I'm going to send to at least the student affairs or student advisory team, but also to every club and organization that I have a name for that's been involved in one event or another with GIVE, so that we can have a sense of what do they know about us? What do they involved in, and what can we continue to advocate for? And then also to kind of give, obviously the student advisory team an update as to where we stand with writing the new grant, getting thoughts and ideas for that so that I can incorporate them. And really, I think closing out the year, if the following Tuesday, being what's tomorrow's 30th, I guess that would be what, May 6th or 7th, May 7th. If it's possible to get together, we might. But right now it's all dependent on your schedules of exams and, what's available. But would love to at least, see this as a congratulatory meeting as well too, because we've really come a long way. The students have been, tremendous in the work that's been done. And
plus we have 2 graduates amongst our midst.
Yes, we do. We have 2 students that are graduating. Ethan and Olivia and Caitlin.
Oh, 3, right.
Yep. So 3 of my students will be moving onward, but I believe have really gained a lot from this program, and that's empowering to me to know that we've been able to do that. So,
For sure. Yeah, that's pretty much what I had. I did have a few closings since today is the last episode, and again, thank you guys for joining me today.
Of course.
As our 2 very special guests. I guess I should ask you, is there anything last minute you wanted to hit up?
Just like if I'm saying when I'm manifesting it into the universe, when the GIVE grant comes back for the 2024-2027 season, definitely get involved, whether you're just, you want a place that you feel like these topics is important to you, you're a president, e-board, general member of a club, and you want to collaborate, you're a faculty member and you want us to come speak to your class, you're a student that want us to come into your class and talk about these topics, definitely get involved and help us kind of grow so that we can stay here for those 3 years and past those 3 years, because this is just something that really belongs on this campus, and I've never seen a group on here that has had more, attention, just kind of like opportunities for people to come and help, and from all different kinds of walks of life. Our board is so different. Like everybody on our board is from different places. We have people from, like neurodiversity, we have athletics, we have Greek life we have people who are like student government, we have people who are art sciences majors, we have people who are health sciences majors, we have business majors. So our student advisory team is always looking to expand and diversify, and if that's something that interests you, definitely get involved. So that's my last little kind of thing.
I couldn't, I totally support what Maggie has said. And I think our goal ultimately is to, would love to see a prevention office on campus, which really helps support all of these issues in so many ways, and that there's a place for students to go to know that they've got support and, information and resources. And, as Maggie said, getting involved, we have the dance team has been, they've been tremendous in terms of coming to our events. They sign up for tables for an hour. If you just can't make our meetings, depending on when it's going to fall, I am open to just come sit at our table and support, what's going on and what's happening. It's a way to be a part of that, be active, and, you can put that on your resume, and that, again, that you've been a part of a grant that's been instrumental in campus culture change. So,
yes. Totally agree with all of them too.
Yeah.
Very diverse group of people, and a very hardworking team. One message from me that I quickly wrote out. I do want to share. Since we're coming to the end. Thank you, Leonora. Amazing year and a half that we know each other. Been part of the Give Student Advisory Team, helping support these months and everything important behind it. Thank you to the team for your dedicated work all year long. That I've known you, but I know you've been I'm the latest member actually, so I'm the newest one to join. Like out of the main core group, and really I know you guys been working so hard, so I commend you for that. And support I always support you guys where I will going forward. You have my contact. You can always reach out. I'm always here to support you guys, support the program overall. I do want to see it become a sort of club.
Yep.
And
Me too.
yeah, it's been amazing working with you guys. Past
Ditto, my friend.
Yeah,
Ethan's gonna make me cry. Oh,
she's crying now.
Hey.
This is emotional to me. I know I'm not showing it. It's definitely emotional being the last episode.
yeah.
And so grateful to have a Give Grant related podcast as the last one, with two very special people, and dedicating it to the team. We know exactly why they couldn't make it, and it's totally understandable due to inconvenient class times on campus. But no,
After 3
appreciate
o'clock,
all
there
your
should be no
support.
classes.
Yes. Yes. So yeah, know you always have me. Reach out if you have anything. To the viewers also, get involved with Give, get involved on campus. It's been amazing. Yeah. I don't regret any bit of it. Since joining the month after, I met Leonore, and she encouraged me to help out with the table for love languages in February for Valentine's Day. So yeah, keep in touch. Thank you, viewers, for everything. Let's see. I did want to thank all the guests that I've had throughout the this year and last year too. Jordan Score from IUTV, I know we've had because of the production related stuff that I'm into and major in. We've also had Tyler Gill. We also had him.
Love Tyler Gill.
Yes.
Tyler Gill, I love you. I'm saying that on camera. I love you, Tyler Gill.
You have a bright future, man. Derek Polanco, we also had from Neurodiversity, future president, next year.
Yes. Yay, Derek.
Jackie, we also had. I talked to her because of community service wise. We've been doing stuff together to help out the community. Vincenzo, as I mentioned before, from Mission Trip, me and Leonora went on. We talked a lot about sports, me and him, over the years. I know. Shout out to the Knicks as well, as you guys have. You guys have bright playoff future, as well as Rangers, both at MSG, the world's most famous arena. Mets and Yankees continue their season. Just wanted to mention that because half of this is sports related, but definitely Give Grant was the main part. Just wanted to mention out the sports at the end. But yes, thank you to the viewers as well for an amazing year and a half. Your dedication means a lot to me, and just viewing this channel, it's been very successful, and know you guys are all important to me. Guys, heart is for the Give Grant team right here. Love you guys. Keep going strong. You guys all have a bright future, and I hope to continue this production field. Thank you again, and thank you, Leonora and Maggie, for joining me on this very, very hot Monday afternoon. Thank you. I hope you all have a great summer and a great rest of your year.
Congratulations on your graduation.
Yes,
Thank you, thank you.
congratulations. Thank you, Ethan.
Have a good one, guys.
All right.